Hello and welcome to episode 176. For this video I'm on the second ever visit to the club where I've joined, Aspen Lake Fishery in Ashton Keynes. Lot busier than my first visit here 4 weeks ago. Well, that bank over my right shoulder, but to my left, nearly every swim is taken up there, including the swim I was in 4 weeks ago. So I think there was 2 empty swims, but I didn't fancy sort of hemming myself in the middle of other people, so I've had to come to the other end of the lake. There's one guy fishing to my right, so yeah, got a bit of space to kind of spread myself out at the moment. There are a couple of empty swims to my left in case people turn up there later on. But yeah, second ever visit, not fishing yet, just literally dropped the kit off in my swim and parked the van back up in the car park. So yeah, I mean, a busy lake and having to be sort of forced down this end might work in my favour. Who knows, because 4 weeks ago when I was fishing in that storm, the wind was hacking up that end of the lake. And so potentially the fish could have been on the wind, as cold as it was. As it goes now, the wind is doing a 180 from that time, and the wind is now blowing down this way. So if the fish are on the wind, then sort of being forced to be down this lake might work in my favour. Right, anyway, right, I'm going to stop waffling now because literally nothing is sorted yet. All my kit's on the ground around me here. Right, so I need to start doing some carpy and let's go fishing. Right then guys, so we're going to take a little look around the swim, see what we're dealing with on this session. So just give you a bit of a sort of like bearings, get you sort of geography of the lake. So last time I was fishing, I was all the way up here, right up in this far corner. So this swim, like I say, obviously it's the other end of the lake. Rods aren't fishing as well, by the way, they're just sat there waiting to do something. So obviously, we've got all this water from all this sort of that left hand side coming down here, and then obviously then it goes around to my right. That's kind of the end of the lake. Here's a little bay. Don't know why you can make it out, but you know, it's got a little spit of land that comes out here, and then sort of looking at centre of shot, this is a big bay here that all goes in. So even if kind of the fish want to be on the back of the wind, I don't know if you can make it out, but I've got a nice calm bit of water at the back of this bay here. So if there are any fish down here sort of on the back, sort of on the wind but on the back of it, I think that's the area to be. Then again, I don't know when we can make it out on screen, but then this comes out and then it sort of then goes round back here. Then the lake sort of carries on at this kind of level, kind of behind this spit just there. So I think, in fact I don't think, I know, so I can't go any more further around to the right either than this kind of spit of land here, because there's a lad in the swim to my right and his left hand rod is on the end here somewhere. So in the bay, right hand rod, I think, in that calm water, middle rod on the end of this point here somewhere, so if any fish are travelling down from this end of the lake and happen to be coming round this way, then I'll try and intercept them with my middle rod, sort of roughly this kind of area. And then my left hand rod, I think I'm going to do a margin rod. I can't go too far out into open water this way because there's some lads behind these trees here, and their rods are out in this kind of open water area here. So I'm a little bit restricted of where I can put my rods. So I think my left hand rod, I think I will put, where's my pointer, there we go, just off the end of these trees here and do a margin rod. So we'll do 2 long rods and 1 short rod, which I think will be a nice plan. I wouldn't expect to get any fish on the left hand rod during the day while I'm clumping around my swim, but once I'm in my bivvy or nice and quiet, I think this left hand rod sort of area here might sort of come into its own. So that's the plan, guys. So I've now just got to put some rigs on the end of them rods and get them cast out. What I'm actually going to do first is have a bit of a cast around with a marker rod to see what kind of ranges and depths I've got with me middle and right hand rods. Right guys, so I've just been having a chuck around of the marker rod. So far only onto the middle rod. As I was saying, I'll find a little pointer if I can intercept, if any fish are up the other end, you know, and they're coming down this lake and then coming around this spit into this bay. Hopefully the plan is to, you know, intercept them sort of, you know, well, just, you know, coming down. So I've marked up as close as I can to the island, and when I say as close as I can, it's probably still a rod length and a half away. I am, if I can make it out on the camera, I am using, oh here we go, this little V in the tree just there as my little marker to aim to. And I say I'll go as close as I can, but I'm still a rod length and a half away, because say this is the island and that's the water level, it carries on sloping down until it gets to the flat bit. So I've literally got me marker, you know, me lead and me float at kind of this point here, if you get me. So island, water, bottom of the slope, marker, float, and the distance from island to there is about a rod length and a half. So I'm right at the bottom of the drop off. Right, so I just need to wind that in now, see what the range is exactly, and then I'm going to mark up the range to this calm water in the bay here. Right then guys, so I've clipped up my range to my right hand rod. I don't know what the range is yet, because at the moment all I've done is left the float out there. There we go. Right on the edge of the ripply water and calm water. But as the wind dies down later on, more of that water will become little calm water out of the wind. And incidentally, my middle rod, when I clipped it up, it was just a couple of foot short of 15 wraps. So nice comfortable casting, and I guess I would imagine that rod over there is probably, I don't know, maybe 18 wraps, something like that. So within my casting ability, let's wind it in and see what range it actually is. my accuracy's a little bit out. I guessed 18 wraps, it's actually 17 for one wrap out. So, yep, 3 rods are out. We are now fishing. All the rods landed pretty much on the money. Pretty happy with how they all landed first time. So, tactics. If you watched my first video here 2 episodes ago, you'd seen that I caught both them fish on Ronnie rigs. So I've stuck with Ronnie rigs again. The bait I'm using I will show you later on, but it's I don't know the name of it yet because I haven't been told, but it's a new test bait from Hinders that they've given me to try. So I'll show you that at some point later on in the blog. And you'll have noticed when I was putting out some bait, I only spotted out boilies. And again, if you watch my first episode here, you'll know that I caught my first fish over a bed of pellet and the second fish over a bed of hemp and maize. And the rod that fished over the boilie didn't do anything. So the plan is I'm going to fish all 3 rods over boilie. Now that might sound mad when you think, but you didn't catch over boilie before. I know, and that's what I'm trying to work out. If you can catch over beds of boilie, so hence all 3 rods have been baited up with boilie, and then if I do catch, then yes, you can catch over boilie. So I know you can catch over pellet, I know you can catch over hemp and maize. Like I say, in these early stages of, fishing this lake, and I'm still trying to work out what's what, I want to know if I can catch over boilie. Hence why all 3 rods are over boilie. If it works, good. If it doesn't, then next time I'm on, I'll just try baiting it with pellet, and the time after that I'll try this hemp and corn again and try and work out what's what. So amount of bait I've put out, well, I only had to spod the middle and right hand rods, so I put out 5 midi spoms of bait over each rod, and then just using the scoop to go down in the margins here to my left, roughly again about the same amount. The boilies I'm baiting up with are the Hinders Nuts 365 in the 10mm. So, and that takes you up to about where I am now, where you've just seen me put the rods out. It is probably late afternoon now. I have taken a bit of time to get the rods out just to make sure, the home and everything is up and I'm comfortable. So yeah, that's it. I don't need to do anything else now. I can just sit back and chill and relax. Like I say, because it is late afternoon, I'm not going to do any more casts now for the evening. The baits I've got on will easily see me through the night because the new baits are really, really poppy-uppy. It's not, the word isn't buoyant anymore. The new word is poppy-uppy. So yeah, so the new baits are really, really poppy-uppy, and they will easily stay not buoyant, poppy-uppy through the whole night. So, right, just time to sit back and relax now. But it is cold though, really, really cold. It's just the temperature is dropping, and I've already looked ahead at the weather as well. The nights are getting almost to a freezing point, like 1 degree, 2 degrees, so I maybe might even expect to wake up to a frost. So yeah, the days are bright and sunny, but the nights are still very winter-like at the moment. Right, anyway, I think I've waffled on for long enough to telling you what's what. I won't show you anything else now until something happens. If that's a fish or recasting. So I might not even see it till the morning if it's quiet. Right then guys, obviously with the lack of any footage since I put my rods out, there has been no fishy action. I had a couple of liners on both the long rods, you know, the one in the bay and the one up against that kind of the point of land. They both done some liners in the night, so, and I thought, well, something's moving around my rigs. I had absolutely no indications on the left hand margin rod whatsoever. I was rudely awoken up this morning by a swan that decided to go for a paddle over my rod tips. Even though I've got them in the water, a swan still decided it would be a good idea to wake me up by having a little paddle over where the rods go into the water. But that is about all that has happened. You can just about see on the water, the wind is hacking in this end of the lake, but unlike when I was here last time, it's an absolute bitter easterly wind. I think I might have to put a second hoodie on in a minute because it is absolutely bolting, this wind. This side of the lake does get the morning sun, so there is a nice warm glare from the sun, but it's being quickly eradicated by this bitter easterly wind. So, right, I'm going to wind the rods in shortly, just so I can re-chuck them out on some fresh hook baits. But that's about all I'm going to be doing this morning, I think. To be fair, these new hook bait, in fact, let's show you the new hook baits. Right, new ones from Hinders. So I don't know how well you can see that. I think I'm in the light there. There you go. We'll get one out. I'm probably not showing this in the best light, to be fair, with the sun behind me. So what we'll do, we will spin the camera around. There we go. Can we see that better, guys? Yeah, that looks better. So, here we go. So these hook baits, they haven't got a name yet. Oh, where can I put that pot? As you can see, they're half pink, half white. These are like little dumbbell pop-ups. I've got no idea whether the pink bit and white bit are different flavours, but like I said, Hinders haven't named them yet. They've just said they're specials. So I've got no idea what they are, but they've got a no, I just dropped one. They've got a citrusy smell to them. Oh, let's adjust this so we can see me. Here we go. Yeah, so they've got a citrusy smell to them, but there's like a little back note of something else, and I just can't quite work it out, to be fair. But when these are made publicly available, no doubt they'll say what they actually are and what's in them. But yeah, so that's what I'm trying at the moment. Like I say, I don't know what they are, but they're definitely citrusy, I know that much. Look, oh, it's freezing this morning. So, and in due course there will be different size pop-ups as well. In fact, they're so buoyant But you can tell they're buoyant, they're more, or as I said yesterday, more poppy-uppy. Just by the feel of them, they're a lot more kind of softer and squidgier than other sort of Hinders pop-ups that I've gone before. So yeah, so I'm actually having to kind of trim them down to go on my Ronnie rigs because they're that buoyant. I'm having to trim them down, so all I'm doing is I'm sort of basically cutting off either end to make it more of a kind of a 12mm kind of shape. Right, anyway, that's enough waffling about one pot of hook baits. So yeah, that's what I'm using on this session. So yeah, gonna wind the rods in shortly and put some fresh ones on. Like I said, even though these ones are more poppy-uppy, and I'm quite confident that they are still, you know, holding up the Ronnie rig, you know, I'll put some fresh hook baits on just for the sake of putting on some fresh hook baits, really, I think. Right, let's get that done. And I think I might put that second hoodie on first. Oh dear, guys. I seem to have a bit of a duck raping going on in my swim. Oh, poor girl duck, she's getting absolutely battered. And guys, it's been an absolutely quiet day since I wound my rods in this morning and re-chucked them with some fresh baits on. Absolutely nothing has happened. It's a bit of a strange one for fish activity on this place. For whatever reason, the fish don't seem to give themselves away, or they don't seem to bosh or jump out or roll or top, or they just don't let you know where they are to give you any clues for some reason. Oh dear, southwesterly blowing. Actually not, it's a bit easterly, but yeah, I don't know why, but I don't know, all the other members I've spoke to as well have said exactly the same thing. For whatever reason, the fish just don't show themselves on here, so anyway, it's getting on to early evening now. I'm actually going to wind in again soon and pop into South Cerney village, which is only 5 minutes away, and go and get myself a fish and chip dinner. Used to like using that fish and chip shop when I was down the road on the old Honda Lake, and now I'm here. It's probably about the same distance away, but just going another way, so I can have the good old South Cerney fish and chips again. Oh, at this rate, might be the only fish I have this session. Duck rape still going on. And guys, as you could probably see, the rods are now wound in. I'm about to go to the chippy in South Cerney, but I'm going to just top up, even though I've not had any fish, I'm just going to top up the spots I'm fishing just with a little bit of bait. Whether fish have been on them or not, who knows. Oh, excuse me, I've definitely had some of these ducks diving down on the spot, so I'll just top up each spot just with a couple more, just to put some fresh bait, fresh attraction, and if anything has been nibbled away at by either fish life or bird life, then I'm just going to top them spots up. That'll do then, guys. Just 2 spots, just and I managed to tangle the braid around the tip while he was turning around. So yeah, just a couple of spots just to top the spot up. I'll do 2 on that spot and then a handful on the margin rod, and then that'll do. Don't need a lot more bait. I need to untangle the braid from round the tip of my spod rod. Right, and then do the other 2 rods. I've got a fish. Cod. And guys, let's back that up my mouth first. So that is the last rod of the evening out now. And so that is the 3rd and final rod after I've had me chippy dinner. So this cold wind hasn't let up at all today. It is still absolutely freezing. So yeah, unless anything happens in the night, that'll probably be my last cast of the session. So let's just hope the second night of my second session can be a little bit more successful than last night. Well then guys, second night, another quiet night. Didn't even have any liners or anything whatsoever. Still freezing cold with the easterly wind pushing up this end of the lake. It's that cold I've even had to dig out my gloves. Yeah, it's nice and warm up the other end of the lake. You can, I don't know if you can make out top right hand corner of your screen where I was fishing on the first session here, where that bank is protected from the wind with the trees in the distance. It is absolutely flat calm up there, no wind. I was up there yesterday chatting to the chap who was in the swim I was in, and he's in shorts and t-shirts up that end of the lake. It's totally unreal. But anyway, this session, it's mid-morning now, 10 o'clock. So nothing's happened. I'm actually in the midst of a slow pack down now. I'm going to give it to about lunchtime. I mean, nothing's happened in sort of almost 48 hours. I can't see anything happening in the last couple of hours, but it's not over till it's over. But I think it is over, to be fair. So I'm going to call it a day there. I'm going to call it an end to the blog here. Unless anything does happen, then you'll see me again in the next scene. But yeah, I'm out again in just 4 days' time. We've got the long April bank holiday weekend coming up next weekend, and I've booked an extra day off on the Thursday to get somewhere before the venues start getting busy for that long bank holiday weekend. And the venue I've picked to fish is Willow Park Fishery. So So like I say, I'm getting there on the Thursday, hopefully get there before the rush. Like I say, and that starts in just 4 days time, so probably as soon as I get home from this session I'll be prepping new rigs and bait and provisions for that session. Alright guys, I'm going to leave it there because I don't think I've got much left on this battery. Like I say, I've not done much filming, but this cold wind isn't very good for the old battery life. Alright, unless anything happens in the last couple of hours, I'll see you next time at Willow Puck Fishery. Till then, tight lines.